Well, we are in the middle of September, and that means the temps are starting to cool.
September is still pretty warm in Colorado, but is it 90-degree warm? It's a very important question. Senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi is here to explain why we might be done with the 90s for the rest of the year. I'm not mad at that.
Me neither.
What do you think?
A lot of people don't seem too mad about it, just based off the initial social media reaction declaring that we're done with 90-degree temperatures officially in Denver. Now, next week, we might get into the mid, maybe even upper 80s. For us, 87, 88 degrees, but 90-degree heat, I think we're safely done with that for the year. A couple of stats why, but first of all, 90 degrees, we will finish with 47 days at or above 90 degrees so far this year. These are, of course, measurements taken out at Denver International Airport. The 30-year average is 46 days at or above, so pretty close to the 30-year average. But on a long-term basis, going back to the 1870s and when our official climate record began, this is about 15 days above average. We've seen a notable spike in those 90-degree days in the last 30, 35 years. Part of that has to do with the warming climate. The other part of that is the switch, the official climate switch from the old Stapleton Airport to Denver International Airport. Now, what's been kind of the standout feature is we were on pace most of the summer for about 55 to 60 days at or above 90 degrees. What happened? From the end of August through September, we've only had one 90-degree day so far this month here in September. And I've talked about this at length, is that Septembers have been the month where we've really warmed considerably in the last 30 years across the Front Range and across the state of Colorado. So only having one 90-degree day so far this month, and that's how we'll likely finish. That is one of the features that we'll see here, kind of a cooler end to the summer. So our average last 90 plus, September the 5th. Here's the reason why I'm pretty confident that we're done with those 90-degree days. Our latest on record, October the 1st of 1892, but our average last 90 plus on a long-term basis, September the 5th. On a 30-year basis, it's September the 8th through the 11th. So usually by the second week of September, we're done with those 90-degree days. It's, of course, September the 16th. We don't have any 90-degree days in the next 10 days, so it's pretty tough once we get to the end of September to get those 90-degree days. And again, the standout feature, we've only had one 90-degree day since August the 21st. So most of the summer, we had a lot of those 90-degree days in June, July, early August, but it basically stopped at the back half of the month. So we're probably done with those 90-degree days for the year for us here in Denver, and we'll finish with 47 of them officially.